What if I told you that the difference between a successful person and someone who constantly struggles isn't talent, luck, or even hard work, but something much simpler? It's the space between stimulus and response. The ancient Stoics discovered this secret 2,000 years ago. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to master your mind so you never lose control again. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will literally change how you handle every challenge, every conflict, and every opportunity for the rest of your life. Before we dive deep into this life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because every single day, I share practical Stoic insights that successful people use to stay calm, focused, and in control. And trust me, after today's video, you'll want to be the first to know when I drop the next piece of ancient wisdom that can transform your modern life. Plus, if you're serious about mastering your mind, I've got something special waiting for you at the end of this video that will accelerate your progress by months. Now, let's begin your transformation. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and your boss criticizes your work in front of everyone. Your heart starts racing, your face gets hot, and before you know it, you're either snapping back defensively or shutting down completely. Sound familiar? Or maybe it's your partner saying something that triggers you, and suddenly you're in a full-blown argument about something that started as a simple comment. We've all been there, right? Here's the brutal truth. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners of their reactions. They think they're responding to life, but they're actually just reacting like programmed robots. The Stoics called this being a slave to your passions, and it's the root cause of almost every problem in your life. But what if I told you there's a way to break free? What if you could train your mind to pause, think, and choose your response instead of being hijacked by your emotions? And here's the best part. I'm going to give you the exact 3-step framework that Marcus Aurelius used to stay calm while ruling the Roman Empire during plagues, wars, and political chaos. This isn't theory. This is a battle-tested system that works in real life. So keep watching, because this framework alone is worth more than most people pay for therapy. Let's start with why this matters so much. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist, said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." But here's what most people don't understand. That space doesn't just exist naturally. You have to create it. You have to train for it. Just like a muscle, your ability to pause and choose gets stronger with practice. Think about the last time you reacted poorly to something. Maybe you sent an angry text, said something you regretted, or made a decision based on emotion that you later wished you could take back. What happened in that moment? You lost that space. You went from stimulus directly to reaction without any conscious choice. The Stoics understood that this is where we lose our power. Epictetus, who was literally a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, taught that we can't control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But here's where it gets interesting. Modern neuroscience has proven that the Stoics were right. When we react emotionally, we're literally using the most primitive part of our brain, the amygdala. It's the same part that helped our ancestors survive saber-toothed tigers. But in modern life, this ancient alarm system often does more harm than good. When your amygdala takes over, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, planning, and decision-making, goes offline. You literally become less intelligent in that moment. You make decisions you wouldn't make if you were thinking clearly. This is why people say things they don't mean when they're angry. It's why we make impulsive purchases when we're stressed. It's why we lash out at the people we love most when we're overwhelmed. We're not operating from our highest self. We're operating from our most primitive programming. So how do we fix this? The Stoics developed what I call the response framework. 3 simple but powerful steps that create that crucial space between what happens to you and how you respond. Step 1. The pause. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The first step is simply recognizing when you're being triggered and creating a pause. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel them. It's about acknowledging them without being controlled by them. When something happens that normally would make you react, you literally pause and say to yourself, "I notice I'm feeling triggered right now." The ancient Stoics called this prosoke, continuous attention to the present moment. It's like becoming the observer of your own mind instead of being completely identified with every thought and emotion that arises. Here's a practical technique. When you feel that surge of emotion, take 3 deep breaths and count them. This simple act engages your prefrontal cortex and starts to calm your amygdala. It's like hitting the pause button on your automatic reactions. Step 2. The perspective shift. Once you've created that pause, the second step is to zoom out and see the bigger picture. Marcus Aurelius was a master of this. He would remind himself that in the grand scheme of the universe, most of our daily frustrations are incredibly small. He wrote, "Remember that very little disturbs the wise man, for he is not disturbed by what is outside his control, and he is not disturbed by his own mistakes, for he knows that mistakes are part of learning." But this isn't about minimizing real problems. It's about putting them in proper perspective so you can respond more effectively. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? What would someone I respect do in this situation? What's the most constructive way I can handle this? Seneca had a powerful exercise for this. He would imagine himself as an advisor to a friend facing the same situation. What advice would you give them? Often, we can see clearly when we're helping others, but we lose perspective when it's our own situation. Step 3. The conscious choice. The final step is making a deliberate choice about how to respond. This is where your power lies. You're no longer a victim of circumstances or a slave to your emotions. You're the conscious architect of your response. Epictetus taught his students to ask, "Is this something I can control or something I cannot control?" If you can't control it, you accept it and focus your energy on what you can control, your response. If you can control it, you take thoughtful action aligned with your values. This is where you ask yourself, what response would I be proud of tomorrow? What response aligns with the person I want to become? What response serves my long-term goals and relationships? Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how do I actually implement this when I'm in the heat of the moment? Don't worry, I'm about to share the specific techniques that make this automatic, plus a powerful daily practice that will rewire your brain for calm confidence. This is the part that most people never learn, so stay with me. Let me give you the exact tools that will make this framework second nature. The STOP technique. When you feel triggered, use this acronym. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Observe what's happening inside you. Proceed with intention. This gives you that crucial pause and helps you engage your rational mind before responding. The October 10th, 10 rule. Before responding to any situation that triggers you, ask, how will I feel about this response in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years? This instantly gives you perspective and helps you choose responses you'll be proud of long-term. The Stoic journal practice. Every evening, spend 5 minutes reflecting on your day. Ask yourself, when did I react instead of respond today? What triggered me and why? How could I have handled it better? What did I learn about myself? Marcus Aurelius did this every night, and it's one of the reasons his Meditations is still changing lives 2,000 years later. The dichotomy of control exercise. This is the most fundamental Stoic practice. Draw a line down the middle of a piece of paper. On one side, write what I can control. On the other side, write what I cannot control. Whenever you're stressed or upset, categorize the situation. Then focus 100% of your energy on what you can control and let go of the rest. This simple exercise will eliminate 90% of your stress. The negative visualization. Seneca practiced imagining losing the things he valued most, his wealth, his health, his loved ones. This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. When you regularly contemplate loss, you become more grateful for what you have and less reactive when challenges arise. Try this. Once a week, imagine losing something important to you. How would you handle it? What would you focus on? This mental rehearsal builds emotional resilience. Let me show you how this works in real-life situations. Scenario 1. The difficult boss. Your boss criticizes you unfairly in front of colleagues. Instead of reacting defensively, pause. Take 3 deep breaths and notice your emotional state. Perspective. Ask yourself, is this about me or about their stress? How can I respond professionally? Choice. You might say, I appreciate the feedback. Can we schedule a private meeting to discuss this in detail? This response maintains your dignity, shows professionalism, and often diffuses the situation. Scenario 2. The relationship conflict. Your partner says something that hurts your feelings. Instead of attacking back, pause. Recognize your hurt and resist the urge to hurt them back. Perspective. Remember that they're probably stressed or dealing with something else. Choice. You might say, that hurt my feelings. Can you help me understand what you meant? This opens dialogue instead of starting a war. Scenario 3. The traffic jam. You're stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. Instead of road rage, pause. Accept that anger won't change the traffic. Perspective. This is outside your control. Focus on what you can control. Choice. Call ahead to reschedule. Use the time to practice your presentation or listen to something educational. You arrive calmer and more prepared than if you'd spent the time stressed and angry. Here's how to make this your default way of operating. The 21-day challenge. For the next 21 days, commit to using the response framework at least once per day. Start small. Maybe it's not reacting to a slow internet connection or a long line at the store. The trigger journal. Keep a list of your common triggers. Maybe it's criticism, feeling ignored, or being interrupted. Once you know your patterns, you can prepare for them. The role model method. Choose someone you admire for their calm demeanor. It could be a historical figure like Marcus Aurelius, or someone in your life. When triggered, ask, how would role model handle this? The evening review. Before bed, ask yourself, what went well today in terms of my responses? Where did I react instead of respond? What will I do differently tomorrow? This builds self-awareness and accelerates your progress. The morning intention. Each morning, set an intention. Today, I will pause before reacting. I will choose my responses consciously. This primes your mind for success. Now, here's the game changer I promised you at the beginning. I've created a free 7-day email course called the Stoic Response Mastery Challenge that will walk you through implementing everything we've discussed today, step by step. You'll get daily exercises, real-world scenarios to practice with, and my personal techniques that I've never shared before. The link is in the description below, and it's completely free because I want to see you succeed. When you master the art of responding instead of reacting, everything in your life improves. Better relationships. You stop saying things you regret. You become someone others can count on to stay calm under pressure. Your relationships deepen because people feel safe around you. Career advancement. Employers value people who can handle stress gracefully. You become the person they turn to during crises. You make better decisions because you're thinking clearly, not emotionally. Inner peace. You stop being at the mercy of external circumstances. You develop what the Stoics called ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. You sleep better because you're not replaying regrettable reactions. Physical health. Chronic stress from constant reactivity damages your body. When you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, your stress hormones normalize, your immune system strengthens, and you feel more energetic. Personal growth. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to practice wisdom. You develop what Nassim Taleb calls anti-fragility. You don't just survive difficulties, you grow stronger from them. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you master your responses, you become unshakable. Other people's chaos can't disturb your peace. Let's address the common challenges you'll face. But I'm just not a calm person. This is a story you tell yourself. Calmness isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. Marcus Aurelius was naturally hot-tempered, but he trained himself to be calm. If the Emperor of Rome can do it, So can you. What if someone takes advantage of my calmness? Responding thoughtfully doesn't mean being passive. Sometimes the wise response is to set firm boundaries or walk away. Strength and calmness aren't opposites, they're partners. I keep forgetting to use these techniques. Start with just one trigger per day. Maybe it's your morning commute or checking email. Focus on that one situation until responding becomes automatic, then expand to other areas. This feels fake or suppressive. You're not suppressing emotions. You're choosing how to express them. There's a difference between feeling angry and acting angrily. You can acknowledge your anger while choosing a constructive response. Here's what I want you to understand. Every single day, you have hundreds of opportunities to practice this. Every email that annoys you, every person who cuts you off in traffic, every unexpected challenge. These aren't obstacles to your peace. They're your training ground. The Stoics believe that we don't get to choose what happens to us, but we always get to choose what happens next. That choice, that space between stimulus and response, is where your power lives. It's where your freedom lives. It's where your growth lives. Remember, Marcus Aurelius didn't write his Meditations for publication. He wrote them as personal reminders to himself. He knew that even as the most powerful man in the world, he needed daily practice to master his mind. If he needed practice, we all do. The difference between people who transform their lives and people who stay stuck isn't talent or luck. It's practice. It's the willingness to catch themselves reacting and choose to respond instead. It's the commitment to get a little bit better every single day. You now have the tools. You have the framework. You have the wisdom of 2,000 years of Stoic philosophy, distilled into practical techniques you can use today. The only question is, will you use them? If this video has given you even one insight that could change how you handle stress, conflict, or challenges, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube that this content matters and helps it reach other people who need this wisdom just as much as you did. Now, I want you to comment below with this exact phrase: I choose to respond, not react. When you write that down, you're making a commitment to yourself and to this community. And I read every single comment. So I'll see your commitment and I'll be cheering you on. Here's something powerful you can do right now. Share this video with someone in your life who struggles with anger, stress, or emotional reactions. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or a colleague. You could literally change their life by sharing this wisdom. The Stoics believe that we have a duty to help others grow, and this is your chance to do that. If you're serious about mastering your mind and transforming your life, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I post new Stoic wisdom every single day, and each video builds on the last. You're not just subscribing to a channel. You're joining a community of people committed to growth, wisdom, and inner strength. And remember that free 7-day email course I mentioned? The Stoic Response Mastery Challenge is waiting for you in the description below. It's my gift to you because I believe in your potential to master this skill. Don't wait. Your future self will thank you for starting today. Finally, I want you to come back to this video in 30 days and leave another comment telling me how this has changed your life. I want to hear your success stories, your breakthroughs, and your transformations. Because when you master the art of responding instead of reacting, you don't just change your life, you inspire others to change theirs too. The ancient Stoics are counting on you to carry their wisdom forward. Your family is counting on you to be the calm, wise presence they can rely on. Your future self is counting on you to make the choice to grow. The space between stimulus and response is waiting for you. Step into it. Own it. Master it. Your transformation starts now.